Hello, people of the internet. My name is Jagero, and this is Dialogues with Jagero. Today, I'm having a friend of mine that I've known for quite a while. I think 10 years or more. His name is Mufasa, Kibet. I like the name Kibet.
Thank you. It means I was born during the day.
My name is Udur, meaning that I was born at midnight.
We can see that.
Hey, today is gonna be rough. Today is gonna be rough, man.
But we're not Papa. Our darkness is the same.
It's gonna be rough. So, the other day, Mufasa, my friend, and Goofy, also my friend, did a show called Nairobi.
Dating stories, yeah.
I loved it. It took me back to a conversation that I had with you that I'm not going to bring up here.
Okay.
And I've had it a lot of times.
Yeah.
And when I came to the show was amazing.
Thank you.
And I especially liked what you did with the set. You know? And the guys, the fashion store or the fashion brand that did the magic.
Dressed us as well, yeah.
It was amazing. And you know, when I sat there, Mr. Mufasa, so how are you doing?
No, I'm great. Thank you.
Yeah. You have grown, right?
Yo, height, weight, yes, all those things, yo.
I remember our days when we used to do poetry when we just starting.
Yeah.
Out of the set, you told me that people are now recognizing poetry as art, and that people are starting to love it. People think that it has got something. Poets have got something to say.
Yeah, you know, when we began, of course, times are a bit different.
Yeah.
Super different, basically. We used to be paid, I don't know, 200. I remember one time I was performing at Intercontinental with a lady, and then we were given 1,000 to share. And remember, we'd been there from 6 and we left the place at 10 p.m. So give us 1,000. And then this lady tells me, just give me 500 and then you keep the 1,000 because we didn't have change. I look at her and I'm like, you think I have 500? If I had 500, I would not have been here the whole time. If I had another 500. Yeah, so we had to walk around looking for a way to break this 1,000. That's 10 p.m. It was bad. I remember the first time I was paid 750. I was shocked. You could be paid 750.
750 shillings.
Yeah, okay, we need to insist that.
That's about $5.
Don't even say what. Like it was really bad.
Yeah,
but we're in a better place right now.
I was at the show and I saw the crowd, and you're telling me that the crowd that I saw on Sunday was a bit chilled. But then you're telling me that on Saturday it was amazing.
You know, Saturday was sold out a week before the event.
Yeah. Then you should have made it 3 days.
A week before the event. Yeah. Look at where we are now. Yeah.
I am very surprised. I am very happy, and I think big up to the people that have loved your poetry.
Thank you. Yeah.
The people that have always supported you.
No, absolutely. And the new people coming in.
Can I tell you somebody that is a huge supporter of you?
Yeah.
Wendy.
Of course. No, Wendy.
Yeah?
Nah, I love
big up to Wendy,
Wendy,
man.
for sure.
That lady has supported every art that is happening in this city.
That is true.
Do you know she came twice on the weekend?
Yeah, she came on Saturday and Sunday. That's a different person.
So I looked at the set, everything that you're done with the set, and I was amazed. The quality of the sound, everything around it. And I looked at those two kids on stage. How old are you again?
You're there. You can say that. You've seen us grow up. Yeah, you can say that.
I was just amazed at the things that you guys are doing. And now you have branched into the corporate world. Goofy has also branched there.
Yeah.
Trying to make money.
Yeah.
Trying to survive. It's a beautiful thing. I want to talk to you about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Yeah.
I think I've told so many people that I grew up in the village. I think they're tired of my story. It was beautiful. It was different. And then I came to this city, and this city taught me a lot of lessons. You grew up where?
So I grew up in Eldoret.
Yes.
I was born in Eldoret, partly raised in Kapsabet. My dad was a policeman. So nilikuwa naishi we were living in the police line basically. I remember police line. That's where I grew up, playing with other kids and nini. And then at one point, my dad and my mom were not exactly in a good place. So I remember my dad moved to Kapsabet because of transfer, and my mom moved with us to Kapsoya, still in Eldoret. So I lived there with my sister. My two elder brothers lived with my grandmother. For some reason, I don't know why, but they lived with my grandmother. And that partly affected me later on because they came back to our lives when I was in high school. And now I had to start knowing my brother again. And until today, I struggle with it. Like, I'm only close with my sister.
You never asked why they were scattered?
I think I don't know, actually. I really don't know. I really don't, because I was younger. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But what I remember is my dad moved to Kapsabet, and then later on we moved to Kapsabet again, back with my dad. And again, my mom started doing her own things, because when she met my dad, she was like those village ladies, village girls. In fact, she was young. I think my dad was like almost the same age as my grandmother. Yeah, she was. My mom was young. And then she started doing her own thing, selling mangoes, selling suji selling clothes, selling what. At some point, started selling maize, and then she started getting money, like a bit of money. And this is something that I've learned, because when I was a kid, I used to think my dad just left us, and I was so angry about whatever with my dad. But later on, I realized the struggles of men is men don't talk.
They don't?
But women talk. Our mothers will tell us things about our dads. Our dads will never tell us anything about our moms. So later on, when I talked to my brothers, just recently when I was an adult, I realized my mom kind of made it hard for my father. And I remember my dad got diabetes, and she had his leg cut off, and he had to retire. And at that point, one time I went to the bedroom, I opened the door when I was just younger, early in the morning. That's when I realized my mom used to sleep on the floor. Like, she couldn't even share the bed with my dad. And then at some point, there's this one day, my dad called us and told us, when I was working, did you ever lack food? Or you ever sent home for school fees? No. And my dad used to bring us those cases, UHT milks. Remember UHT when it was UHT?
Yeah.
He used to go to the factory, bring us those packets of UHT. What? Like, my dad used to overperform. And then, so he told us, like, have you ever, we said, no, we've never missed food. We just looked at him. The next day he left. And he never called us. He never No, he just left. And I wanted to see him so bad, because now, you know how kids are with dads.
Yeah.
I remember I used to take my sister. I used to ask my mother for permission for us to just go visit my dad. And we'd go visit my dad. And when we get there, he went back to the second wife. My dad had two wives. My mom was the younger wife. So the first wife now. When we went there, I remember the first wife did not like us. Like, we would get there and she would not greet us at all. At all. But that story short, I came to Nairobi, right?
Yeah.
I was coming to...
I'm going back. I want to remain in the
Okay.
for a little while. And
Okay.
about fathers.
Yeah.
The last memory I have with my father
Yeah.
is him standing in the sitting room
Yeah.
by the window, looking outside. And, he would look outside for hours. Like, he would just stand there and look outside, like a statue. And, I never asked my mother what was going on. There's a time he went to, my mother followed him. And, our place is very close to River Nyando.
Yeah.
So my mother followed him and got him in the water, like knee deep.
He was walking into the water.
Yeah. But you see, my father knows how to swim. And I think that he couldn't kill himself in the water. Because you really can't kill yourself in the water if you
know
can
how
swim.
to swim, yeah.
And I don't understand why men don't speak.
Yeah.
Your father, he didn't tell you guys anything.
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
Nothing. And I remember the last time, just before he died, he was in the hospital in Baton University. They have a private hospital there. And I was in Nairobi schooling. My stepbrother called me and told me, I need a favor. I need somebody to watch our dad as I work on something, how to get some money to pay for the bill. So I said, okay. So I didn't tell anyone. My mom, nobody knows. So I just left school and I went there and I stayed with him for a week. And I remember telling myself, now let me ask him what's wrong with him. How can he just be there and not call and not know how we are doing? Because I even remember when I was in Form 3 is when he asked me, because I visited him, and then he asked me, so what did you get in KCPE?
When you went there?
Yeah, when I was in Form 3 is when he was asking what I got in KCPE. So that was mad. All these things, I was mad. So I told myself, let me go sit down with this man and tell him what I feel, I get there, and he's with other old men in the hospital. And he gets this point where his memory lapses because of the sugar. And then he doesn't know who I am. So he starts fighting me, telling me, what are you doing here? Because I'm sitting next to him. He's like, what are you doing here? What are you doing? I get confused. So the other guys tell me, nah, just give him a moment. He'll come back. So that's what happened. And then his memory comes back, and I look at him. And then he just smiles. I take him outside to bask in the sun. And he's just smiling and happy. And I realized I couldn't complain. I couldn't shout. I couldn't do nothing. I just sat there with him.
And there's this. I have talked with the Rix at length about his father.
Yeah.
Rix makes a lot of noise about his father.
Yeah.
On social media.
He talks about his father. Yeah.
And there are a lot of things that we don't understand about our old men.
Yeah.
And I wonder whether sometimes, because like even the other day I was talking with Rix. It's very funny that sometimes it's a very funny situation.
Yeah.
Because like Rix was telling me yesterday that as men, we are sort of at some point in life we become robots and disappear. Like your work is to wake up, work, feed your families, feed your wife, feed everybody around you, and then you just disappear. There is a gentleman that is working at me at home in the village.
Yeah.
And the reason why we were discussing this thing is that I sent him his salary.
Yeah.
And then after 3 days, he told me that if I could borrow, he could borrow some money from me.
Yeah.
And I asked him, what happened to the cash that I sent you? And he told me that I sent it home. All of it.
Yeah.
So, and Rix was telling me that at some point men just disappear and you don't know who you are. You're just living for other people, quote unquote.
It's very true. I even got a call from a friend of mine just the other day.
Yeah.
Family man. And he was telling me his mind is exploding. He doesn't know what to do. But he couldn't tell me what he wanted to say.
Yeah.
But I knew it beforehand because I had met him and I knew there's something not going on. But he couldn't find the words. So he's saying, I've tried to call people. I need to talk. So I tell him, okay, I'm listening. And then it was very early in the morning. So he said, you sound like you're asleep. Let me give you a moment. When you wake up, call me. So I told him, okay. So later on, I called him. He didn't pick up. I called him again, he didn't pick up. Then he texted me and told me, I'll call you. He didn't.
He didn't?
Yeah, because I know it was in the moment he wanted to say something. Then he could, like men can't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
So sometimes.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know if it's because. I think it's just the fact that responsibilities is something given to men. Generally, like if you have a family and the kids sleep hungry, no one will look at the mom. They'll look at the dad. For as long as there's mom and dad, the dad the one people will look at. Yeah. What does he do? Nobody asks what does the wife know. The first thing is what does the man do? and you also don't want to escape your responsibilities.
Yeah.
You have to own them because that's part of being a man in this society. Yeah, so you don't know how to complain about something because it feels like an obligation, something you're supposed to do. The question is now, how do you do it when you don't have means? And it's tough.
Yeah. So you come to Nairobi.
Yeah.
What brings you to the city? To the city?
Schooling, tertiary education. Yeah. So at this point, my mom, I wanted to do communications. My mom is like, nah, you cannot. What is that? I want to do mass communication, something. My mom was like, what are those? So finally, one time, I on a newspaper, I saw BBIT, Bachelor's in Business and Information Technology. And I take it to my mom. I say, what about this? She looks at it. She says, okay, it sounds, yeah. So I did the course.
It sounds skilled.
Yeah, no, I see what you're doing. So my mom takes it up, says, yeah, this one makes sense. So we apply for it, but it's not what I wanted. I didn't even know what it was. I come to Kemu. So I joined Kemu BBIT, and the first term, that first one, that's the only term that tulilipa, like we paid the school fees early on because you have to pay before you enter, right? So we paid. I was so happy. I couldn't believe it. The next term, the other term, I was missing papers. I was missing exams. I was missing what? And my mom is old school. I remember one time I tell my mom, so I haven't paid rent in 3 months.
You haven't.
Yeah, so I'm basically, every time I see the landlady, I go this way, I run this way. I call my mom, I tell her, I'm going to be chased from this house. Then my mom says, wapi? Uyo landlady ni mama ama ni mzee? I tell my mother it's ni mama. My mom says, mama hizi fukusa mtoto. I remember when I came and I needed to buy a mattress.
Yeah.
Because we moved to Nini Kila Kitu, and then now I had to buy a mattress. My mom told me he'll send me the money to buy a mattress and everything. So later on, I told my mom, I say, okay, I need to buy the mattress. My mom says, okay, let me send you money on M-Pesa. I opened the M-Pesa, it's 800.
Your mother is gangster, man.
What can I buy with 800? My mom says, mattress ya wanafunzi ya Chevira. Sijuenda soko gani, I don't know. Yeah. So things just started roughly earlier on. I couldn't even finish school. I remember I used to miss so many papers. At some point, kids in school used to think like I'm a bad boy, like those ones who, like you're missing exams deliberately or something.
Mufasa, that's funnily what people think when you're really struggling. Because I used to bike to school in the village, to my secondary school.
Yeah.
And I would arrive late like every day. And the teachers couldn't see. And the thing, looking back, I don't understand how the teachers couldn't see my struggle. Like all they could see that I was being a malingera, that I didn't want to do what is supposed to be done.
Yeah.
But I was biking 14 kilometers to school. Yeah. And then back. Yeah. Sometimes the bike breaks down and you have to go to school, and you show up to school at 8:30. Everybody's quiet in class. And then you have to make that lonely walk from the gate. We had a long way up the hill to where the classrooms were. Yeah. Like any teacher in the classroom can see you make that long walk.
That one is lit. Yeah. No, but
you're a bad. People think that you're a bad boy.
So people think I'm a bad boy. I remember even one of my neighbors saying, unatesa mzazi. Like, you don't.
You know?
Yeah, so they think like I'm I remember like they would call me, my fellow students basically. They would be like, hey, we have cats today. Where are you? They think I don't know. And basically, I'm not allowed into the building because there's a card you use to enter the building. So if you haven't paid school fees, you don't have the card. So I can't tell everybody I'm not there because of school fees. So I just say, it's okay. I'm not around, something. It got so bad at some point I decided to differ so that I could have new classmates who won't know my struggle or won't know me. And I told myself I will not befriend anybody. Like this time around, I'll make sure there are no friends. So nobody can ask me, I don't know where you are, where are you, nini, all that. But yeah, that's how I started poetry. I remember just those walks, you go to Allianz, you see the posters.
Which year in your university?
Why are you going to my age? Why?
No. Which year?
Yes, why? Why?
No. Which year at the university? No, I'm not talking about your age. You started the university in year 1.
Yeah, which year?
So I'm asking you, at what point have you?
You know, people can do the math. I'm kidding. So this was around 2010 there.
2010.
Yeah. I remember around 2010. So I go. I'm walking around. I'm seeing posters, actors needed, whatever. I go for these auditions. I go for what. And I remember the way I started poetry is funny because one time, I had a neighbor of mine who had been hurt by love.
Yeah.
Like, he was a wreck. Somebody had broken his heart, kabisa. He couldn't even sleep alone. So every day he would go out. So now it wasn't as fun to go alone. And I remember at this point, he had seen me in a karaoke event before and I had sung. And yeah, I sang and it was good. People cheered. I got
awesome.
some money. So I was like, we can walk around with you.
Yeah.
It was Mysterious Girl. You remember Peter Andre? Those days. So we go to, we started going. And then one time he told me, I want to take you to a club and I want to show you clubs. Let me show you places.
Yeah, show you places.
So it would cover all the things. It would cover, because I didn't have money. So I remember we went to this club. What's it called? It's in ABC.
ABC Place.
Yeah, what's the name of that club? It used to be a posh club.
I forget the name of the club.
Because I remember going there and I saw all the celebrities. Kamula, I don't know how to see. Everybody was like, ooh.
Tamasha?
No. It's inside ABC. You know, it has a different name. It used to have a different name. So I'm there. Hey, I'm like, where? I see all the celebrities. Everybody. I see them. I'm just like, what? Klepto guy, everybody. And then it was a bit full inside, so we sat outside. And then it was me and my friend, and we had an empty chair. Then a lady comes and asks us, is it okay if I sit here and smoke? I'm like, Anna, do you?
Do you?
Very beautiful lady. Like, I haven't seen beautiful ladies. I'm like, yo, smoking as well. No, smoke. So we're there, and then she asks us, do you guys know spoken word? So I'm like, spoken word? My friend, So she says, no way. She goes back in, comes back with a lady. This lady is light skinned, whatever. Do you call them Shatara? Like, yeah. She comes, this is Raya. You remember Raya?
Yeah. I remember Raya.
Yeah, she comes with this beautiful lady. Raya comes, kneels beside, like just between us, me and my friend. She doesn't even introduce herself. She just kneels there and then starts performing a poem. This is in a club at night. There's music. So she's here kneeling, performing a poem. And we're like, what's going on? When she starts, of course, it's an awkward moment. I'm looking around like, yo, why are you kneeling here? It looks awkward. And then she finishes it. And immediately after that, I knew I wanted more. So she says, you know what? Come to slam poetry. It's going to be happening at Das restaurant in Westlands. I'm going to be slamming. It was in a month's time, 3 weeks time or something. So I would go home. I Google slam poetry. I start watching all these things. And at this point, I used to just write drafts on my book. Like, I was a loner from the beginning. Like I told you, at some point I started having friends just because of questions. So I used to just write things. So I felt like these things I've been writing, maybe I could use them. So instead of attending the poet event, I went to slam as well.
Really?
Yeah. That's how it happened. And I got there late, I remember. The first round had already happened. And I begged them, is there a way I could just join? So the judges talked and they said, you know what? Just join the second round and then we will see. I joined and I ended up number 3.
Overall?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So now I go...
Did you master the poem or you read it?
No, I mastered them. I mastered them. So I go home and now I'm thinking, this is what I want to do. So I started working now on poetry. The next month I got back to slam, won it.
Won it?
Yeah. And that was now the beginning for me.
Do you remember the poem, your first poem? The very first poem that made you number 3?
Yeah, I remember them and I would never recite them again.
They were terrible. They were nice.
They were okay.
Good. They were okay.
They were okay.
What was it about? Your first poem.
That's the thing. I had not mastered the idea of being specific.
Oh.
Yeah, I was saying too many things all over.
Somebody was telling me that they have looked at the poetry they made 5 years ago and it looks like it's really bad.
Yeah,
Do you feel like yours was not good?
Oh, no, it wasn't good. No.
How about the second one, the one that won you the first slam?
It was an improvement of the first, but no. No. In fact, I'm at a place where I look back at even works that I did 3 years ago are not good enough for me today. I believe as an artist, you have to keep improving. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Even something I did last year, the things that I did last year that I might not be proud of.
That's very interesting because I feel the same way of my writings.
Yeah.
That what you wrote before, do you think like, are you being a critic of your work or you, because I don't think it would look the same to the person that is looking at it for the first time.
Yeah, no,
maybe it's just old. It's not like it's bad. It's just old.
I critique myself first, and then I look for somebody else as well to give me their opinion, and then I look for an event, a small event. Then I use that audience as well to check my material. I have a process now in terms of when I have a new material. There's a whole process. Then finally now I can say, okay. Then I go back to editing it again. Yeah.
Yeah. The way you developed, how you became a poet. What are some of the things that you did that made you become a good poet or a good artist or somebody that whose work is considered fine?
Some of the things I did. One, seeking advice. I will pick somebody who I believe I trust their opinion in a way. So I used to do that. The other thing would be just, I wanted to be the best. Like I wanted to be the best. So I would look at the best artists in the UK, look at the best artists in America, look at the best artists in India, whoever, and then try to be as good as them, then try to be better than them, then look for a new person again that I feel is great. Then again, try as much to make my work be as good as theirs, then better than theirs, then look for another person. So that has been my journey. So every time I'm introduced to poets, I'm like, if I find a really good poet, then I want to be better than them. So that has always been my challenge. And it has helped me in terms of creating works that can go beyond borders, basically, can be understood beyond the country. Yeah, so I like creating material that, yes, Kenyans can get it, but I can as well perform it anywhere in the world. Yeah.
Group. So now you have gone to the first slam.
Yeah.
You become number 3.
Yeah.
You go to the second one.
Now I know what I'm doing.
And you become number 1.
And from there on,
how then do you grow as a poet from that?
From there on, I'm going to every space, poetry sports, where I'm going everywhere now. Seeing who's good, seeing what they do, trying to be better than everybody as well. Trying to see what I can encompass in my work that is working for others as well. And then I started introducing music as well into my performance. And I remember the transformational journey or point, I think, for the spoken word whole bit is I was in a poetry competition on TV, AM Live, just to be called The Stand. Sheila Mwanyiga, Kobi Kihara, and who was the other person, number 8? Yeah, done. So there was a competition there for spoken word, and we ended up in the final, myself and Teardrops. So we competed. And the votes came, guys were voting, like in thousands, guys were voting. And I won, and then after that, I remember when we left there with Teardrops, we were thinking, what do we do next? And I was just thinking, we have to use this opportunity, use this moment. So we said we create a show and make it look like we're competing. So Mufasa versus Teardrops. Because there are guys who are not happy about me winning, it was like that. They're like, make it a competition now. So we put up and change voices, Mufasa versus Teardrops. Guys showed up.
Yeah.
That was the first sold out show, fast show, whatever.
Was it at Leon's?
Yeah. Yo, guys, I still have the pictures. Guys were standing everywhere. That was the journey. That was the moment. And immediately after that, that's when people started doing concept events as individual artists, as individual poets now. And from then on, I had a gig every year, a concept event. And I would use that to see how I can improve my performance. So, and I remember the first time I was performing at those, you're invited at a concert, it's outside, you have Eric Wanaina, Giuliani, and then you. And then you go on stage and you realize, how can I gain the attention of this audience? If Eric Wanaina is performing and who, they have the band, they have this music and stuff, how can I just come after with a mic alone? So I started thinking about a band. I wanted to have the best band. So when I looked for a band, I wasn't looking for guys who can work well together. I was looking for outcasts. I was looking for guys who individually, people would say, these people don't follow rules. I remember the first time I met the guy I play with, Don, the saxophonist, people say like, it's hard to control him, what. I'm like, that's what I want. So I was looking for a drama. Everybody I was looking for, I wanted people who are out of control.
Why?
Like when they get in the zone, they get in the zone. Because I didn't want, whatever I was giving out I didn't want something arranged. I don't know what. No, I wanted something. Yes, of course, there's going to be rehearsal, but I wanted something that create moments. I wanted the drama to have a moment. I wanted anybody playing have a moment. I wanted us to be a team. I didn't want a band. I wanted when I performed the poem, we were the poem, so all of us.
When you say that you didn't want a band, you didn't want the poet and then the band.
I didn't want a background.
You wanted
the whole thing to be one.
Yes.
So when I go, I want like when I'm in the moment and I scream and whatever, I want somebody else as well. Whatever they feel, let's go there. So at some point, I can just stop the performance and just go to the keyboardist or somebody and just tell them, yo, speak to them in their own way. So that's what I do. I'll go to the singer and say, Ashley, yo, talk Ashley. So the singer just sings. Just go wherever you go. And now I started writing songs. So every song that we normally perform, I write the songs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I started writing songs.
I thought it was being written by the band.
No, I write the songs. So I write the songs. The whole thing, like the tune, everything. I'm a singer, but I know better singers. So I'm trusting better singers more than I trust myself. So I started writing songs and it changed everything because now whatever we're giving out was us. We owned it. And that really helped me because now I could ask for different pay. I could ask for the payment that they give singers. Because it's musical.
Yeah.
Whatever I'm putting on it's musical. Yeah.
And that is very interesting because at some point people were paying 200. Then I don't know at what point we started paying 1,000. No,
that's true.
Dude, I looked at it and said, this guy is charging 1,000.
No, that's true. And now we're there. Now we're going to 2,000 and 2,000. But okay, it's just going. Yeah, no, absolutely. Because now when I had the band, I could ask for more. Yeah, now I can ask for over 100. I can ask for whatever. I can quote things that myself, I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is me. Wow. But yeah, so that really helped in terms of the growth. And also it helped in terms of bringing people into spoken word. Because remember, nobody liked poetry.
Yeah.
Not even in school.
It is strange.
And if you tell somebody, let's go to a poetry event, they're like, really?
Yeah. There's nothing to enjoy.
Yeah. So we had
to sit there and do this.
Exactly. We had to we had to change people's minds. Yeah.
How do you think that people are looking at poetry right now? You're a little bit. You've got one leg in the corporate world, a little bit, right?
Yeah.
What are the people saying about it?
I think the only challenge I have with poetry is anyone can decide to be a poet today.
Is that
you can wake up in the morning and say you're a poet. And you can change your name on Facebook. You can say you're Douglas the poet. You can be whatever. You can be Rotich the poet. You can be anybody. And that's the challenge because in the end, sometimes these corporate worlds don't know what a good poem looks like.
Yeah.
so when they ask for poets, like we need a poet in the beginning, whatever, and somebody just calls another person, and they're like, yo, so you're a poet, I saw your name, you're a poet. They're looking for a poet. They're like, yeah, we found a poet. How much? 5K, 10, okay, 9. So in the end, we get people who are not good at all at what they do.
Yeah. At least not
spoiling the moments for us.
Without using the word good or bad, people who don't understand it.
Who don't understand it, who have not worked, basically who have not worked their way in, whatever.
Yes.
So in the end, you still have a lot of people who don't trust, who struggle with spoken word because they haven't seen what good spoken word is. They haven't seen spoken word at its best. So in the end, we're still, as much as we are going forward, sometimes we have to go back again, look for somebody else to change their mind once in a while. Yeah.
The art of performance.
Yeah.
Which I think you have really done a lot of work in trying to give a good performance.
Yeah.
And when I look at you on stage, you don't fear the audience. You in my estimation, you welcome the audience and tell them, I want to tell you this story. I want to laugh together with you.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very difficult balance to strike, because when I started performing, I had a lot of anxiety just before performance. And I learned a few things. And I'm not the guest, so I can't say the things that I've learned, you know. But then when you go on stage and you see somebody and you're saying that this guy is very conscious about the audience and how the audience are going to judge him, and then you look at a performer and he goes there on stage and takes control of the audience. And I feel like you are somebody who goes on stage and takes control. What are some of the things that you've learned about performing that has made you, you know, such a good performer? And the moment you come on stage, you can say that Wendy is shouting in the audience. I can hear that's Wendy. I can hear that's Goofy.
Yeah.
But then you still know that there are people that you don't know on in the audience, and you want to bring them to where Wendy is, to where Goofy is. How do you make sure that your performance is that way, that you know what you're coming to do, and you know there is knowing that the audience are gonna like this. And they go ahead and like it.
That's actually true. You can know when the audience will like something as well. I guess one is experience, doing it over and over and over. Because now we've been at this for like about 10 years, 7, 9, the experience, actually, there's the experience part. There's also the part where, like I told you, I normally test it out first. I can test it out with a small, like probably 2 people, 3 people. And from the reaction, I will know, okay, this is working, this is not working. So I always try to test out my material first.
How do you know that? How do you know with these small audience? How do you know that it's not working? Do they tell you? Do you see it in their eyes? Or is it a combination of the two?
It's a combination of everything, even the silence as well. Silence is also a reaction. Yeah, in all of it.
Silence is a reaction.
Yeah, it is.
Do you know why I know that it's actually a reaction?
Yeah.
When you told your story about your father I don't know whether it's 2 years ago, I don't remember, but it's the same place where we were.
Yeah.
And there was silence.
Oh, it was yes, it was last year. So it was in that. Oh, I remember now. Mufasa for president.
Yes.
Oh, you came. My son, I didn't know. Apologies. I didn't know. Apologies. Yeah, it was last year.
The last one was about Nairobi dating stories.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You grew up in this city without money.
Yeah.
You went to school, no money, nothing.
Yeah.
You know, same as myself. Dating is very tough.
Whew. It is so hard.
I mean, before you it is so hard.
It is so hard.
But I look at your analytics on Facebook.
Yeah.
Almost 80% of your followers are women.
I haven't seen it, but no, that guys, no, it should be 60-40, 60-40.
You acknowledge that there are many.
60-40. No, 60-40. There are men as well. Nah, 60-40. My boys.
How hard is it?
Dating, man. You know, God, the first time. This is
Yeah.
The first time I remember I was new in Nairobi. This lady, I used to know her from way before. She was graduating, and we had something going on. We're texting, what. So yeah, it was a moment of happy. There was something going on. So finally, she invites me for graduation. It's taken to a club in town. I remember it was a club in town. Everyone is there. And this lady tells me, after this, we're going to my house. I'm like, ooh.
Whose house?
Hers.
Hers?
Yeah. I'm like, ooh. Ooh. Finally. Boys to man, okay? So I'm there.
Yeah.
So I'm in the whatever club. We're dancing. Then she introduces me to her aunt. I say, hi, whatever. And then, of course, because it's her day, everybody wants to talk to her, what. So the aunt grabs me and tells me, let's go dance. So we go to the dance floor, we're dancing. Out of nowhere, the aunt kisses me.
Where?
On the mouth. Like what you mean? She was not blessing me, it wasn't on the forehead. Like what you mean? It wasn't a blessing per se. So, yo. And you know, at this point,
where's the lady?
She's saying hi to people there. We're in the dance floor. So she's there saying hi to people or whatever. I'm shocked. Anyway, I continue dancing, whatever. And then I go back to sit, right? And then just before we leave, my lady now, the younger lady tells me, so we're going to go home with my aunt. I live in a 2-bedroom. So she'll stay in the other room. And then tomorrow morning I'll leave for work. But you can stay. And then if you're not in a hurry, then I'll come back in the evening. We can have dinner and then, yeah. I was like, That was a short story.
This is dangerous.
I was like,
this is dangerous.
Nairobi is dangerous. I was like, I'm afraid. But yeah, Nairobi is dangerous. So, dating in Nairobi, so I was telling you even before this, that for some reason, I don't know why, every time I fall in love with somebody, and there's this circle of, you always want somebody you can't have. There's that.
Yes.
Like you'll have people who want you, but you're like, I'm not sure. But now you're sure about people who are not sure about you. That always happens, that whole circle. Like the person who wants you, you're not sure, but now you want another person. So that circle, that thing has happened to me many times. But now this is the bit where the ladies I fall in love with end up leaving the country.
Do they fall in love back with you?
Yeah, because we kiss, yes, but
where?
But in Nairobi, so now it has happened 3 times, yo. 3 times.
3 times.
3 times. 3 times.
You get to date them for a little while?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, sometimes I know that there's that they're thinking of moving, but I'm like, maybe it won't happen, you know. And then all of a sudden it happens, and now you're there. And they say they will come back.
Yeah.
But you know, like, long distance is a lie.
Yeah. Is it?
It's a lie.
The people get married from it, bro.
Yeah, I'm not
You're
people.
Not patient.
I'm not people. No, that's a lie. Long distance is a lie.
You're not patient.
Because you see, you also don't want to affect somebody's decision. How do I put it? Like, you want them to choose what's best for them. That's part of love.
Yes.
For example, I remember I met this lady that I really, really liked, but she was half white, and she used to have a problem just walking outside with the whole name calling. Sometimes when she goes somewhere, like let's say the museum or something, people all ask her for the ID. Like nobody believes she's Kenyan. There's that beat. So at some point she just felt like and then she had a what do you call this visa? The European visa?
The Schengen.
That's the term. That one's a difficult one, but that one she what? So she just, and then you remember when you have that, you can basically go to university for free.
Yeah.
So she went, and then you look for work there as well and stuff. So now how am I gonna make her put me first in that situation?
Hard.
Exactly. Respectfully so.
It's very
what's the word? Love is not enough always.
And how about these people that want you and you're not feeling the feeling is not mutual. The 60% that you have.
I see what you did there.
Yo.
I think that's just how that's how the world works.
I was talking to somebody in this town, and they're telling me that women these days are very brave, that they will slide into your inbox and ask you out.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
How do you react when a woman is sliding into your inbox and?
Of course, the first thing you do is go to their profile. Like, who's this I'm talking to? Who's this I'm talking to? You see it, you're like, who's this? But yeah, I think it's, at this point, it's a bit more accepted now. Let me just put it that way. Yeah.
But how do you feel when a woman is doing the first?
Nah, you feel nice.
You feel nice? There is the dating app where only women can do the first move.
Now the problem with me, I can't do. Like, I've never been on a dating app. I can't.
You have never tried Tinder?
Nah, nothing. Like, I can't.
Why?
I don't know. I can't. I can't.
Why?
I guess I struggle. I'm a socially anxious person.
Mm-hmm.
I am an introvert, all those things. So it's difficult. Completely.
I was lucky enough to get it.
We see you.
I really disliked dating because dating was putting me under a lot of pressure in this city, especially though, I know you have a bad house the other side. You don't want to take the lady there.
You just said. I remember I was staying in Gara, and I used to have this the washroom and bathroom outside, the shared ones. Hey, you go there, it is super dirty. Like the ones that before somebody goes, you're like, okay, just give me a minute. You have to rush fast, check it, clean it, and then I hear you. That part was hard. It's actually true. Like when you're, but it's funny, when you look at it. Right now, you look back and you see the things you used to wear. You see the photos of yourself, how you used to look, super thin, whatever, like super dark, pimples. I don't know what you look at. You look at the clothes you used to wear. You look at the house you used to live in. You look at the washroom, and still, you had people who liked you. Yeah. Just the way you are. Like, that's the other bit that... once in a while I go back. You'll have... There's somebody who was there. Even if it means they were just there as a friend. Because most of the times, the confidence, it's you lacking the confidence to bring somebody over. Yeah. Because of what you have. And of course, I can point out, there are times when I felt like this lady definitely left me because... Like, I hear what you mean. Like, you feel like if I had in a better place financially, or if I had a better house, what, I could have secured this girl and this girl and this girl. Yeah. No, of course, there's that. There's
a house I used to live in Kawangware. It's a 10 by 10 shack. Yeah. Like made of mabati. Yeah. And during the day there is no steamer. They would just pluck it out. They would just ration it, and then it when it comes back, you can't iron with it. If you plug it into iron, it goes off. And that house, if it rains, then it would be live. Like, I don't know how they did the wiring. Like, you can't touch them up the wall. If it rains, it will shock you. What? So you have to sleep in the middle of the bed, because if you try wandering,
no, that's different. That's different. That's different. Mine was different. Mine was in Gara, but now it was a Mabati house. The thing was, during the day, we had to keep the door open because you'd suffocate. It was so hot. You would die. It was so hot. So I'd keep the door open always. It doesn't matter who came. So every neighbor used to know who's in the house, because every time they pass, they're like, oh, you have somebody in the house. remember, it's just, and this is the kind of, when you open the door, everyone sees everything. Like the kitchen is there, everything, you see everything, basically. Everything is there, you see everything. You see the guests, you see what they ate, because everything, the plates are just there.
So what is happening in that house? That house gave me nightmares. And this is the thing. I used to go to All Saints Cathedral, one of the best, the most prestigious churches.
Yeah.
I still go there.
Yeah.
And you know, the friends we had were very wealthy friends. They had cars.
Yeah.
Something happened in church and it almost killed me. They announced that from now henceforth, people will be going around people's houses. They announced that in church. And I started having nightmares. Because I was like, this is not going to happen. And then I started dreaming about it. That they were coming over. And then I would dream that they are coming, but they're not reaching. So it just torments me for hours and hours in my sleep.
No, it is. This whole social thing is bad. I remember there's a church I used to go to.
Yeah.
And then after church, this lady asks me, "Is it okay if we? Are you in a hurry?" I said no.
Yeah.
She said we can have lunch because I have a meeting at 3, and I want to see what I can do in between. I can't go back home. I was like, sure, let's go have lunch.
Yeah.
So the church is in Lavington, right? So we go for lunch there. That chicken in somewhere near. Yeah. So we're there. Then I'm just eating. We're eating. It's like, we're just having conversation. Then out of nowhere, this lady says, "Don't worry, God will bless you." I'm like, so I stop eating. I'm like, what do you mean? And she says, "God will bless you. You'll buy a car. God will bless you." I'm like, who said I'm not blessed?
Yeah.
Just because I walk now, I'm not blessed? I even, like, it tormented me.
Yeah.
I remember going home thinking, so now, because I don't have a car, I'm not blessed. So every time I leave this church, because it was a church in Lavington, and of course everybody has a car. But I don't mind, like,
Yeah.
So I'm like, so every time I walk,
at least you didn't mind.
So every time I walk and cars pass me, and of course they know me, they'll say, "Hey, Mufasa, where are you going?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm okay, I'm cool. I have earphones, I'm good. I like walking." So I'm like, now they think I'm not okay. Like, I'm not blessed. Like, and that whole thing of making finance, and it torments us. Like, when you go for dating, when you go for what, all those things.
You know?
And I remember saying, like, even one of the poems in the beginning, I was saying that line of, like, in Nairobi, like, women, like, sometimes women believe, like, men without cars are not driven.
You know?
Yeah, like, you're not driven. Like, how can you you're not driven in life. Like, like, you're not driven purposefully or whatever. There's all that bit of judgment. So dating is difficult. And I remember this one time I almost dated a sugar mommy. That, like, almost. I won't call her sugar mommy, though. Because she wasn't.
She wasn't.
It was just, she was old, but it wasn't showing.
Yeah.
She was older age-wise, but no. I remember I was in Kemu, just during school. I was in Kemu, and I was in the queue. And then there's this lady who was in the queue as well. So this was a month in, and then she tells me, which class are you in? So I said, whatever. And then she said, I'm joining late. I joined school, I think 10 years earlier, and then she deferred for 10 years. And you can see she's a bit older, but she has, like, that petite body, and she has money. Man, you cannot age with money. How?
You do?
Money. You can't look old with money.
At some point,
no,
at some point it refuses.
Sometimes, let me tell you, you can't age. I'm telling you, you can't age with money.
It takes time. It takes time.
She looked like
age respects money.
I looked at her and I was seeing sophistication. I wasn't seeing age. I was just like, wow. Beautiful. Her bag, like everything about her. I was like,
the specs,
the glasses, exactly.
What I like about people who have money are the specs. Where do they get those specs?
Those glasses are serious.
Where did you get those specs?
Those glasses, even this one's expensive for sure. Yeah. So look at her and I'm like, what? And then, so I started helping out with math because she had missed a class, so she needed books. So I gave her some of my books, and there was one time she would come pick it from my house. Staying in Kara, the Mabati house.
Yeah.
So definitely meet her at the gate, like for sure. You are not coming. Open. I would be at the gate. Always waiting so that she doesn't come in.
Wow.
I would make sure, like, no. When she says she's 10 minutes away, I'll stand very far from the gate. Like, and then I'll point. I live there. I'll point, like, I live there. I'm not going there. And I remember, so we started, then she started taking me for lunch. Mm-hmm. And she started texting me and calling me. And then she said whatever she was having wasn't doing well. What, the relationship with her husband, there was some struggles. I almost... That was so close. That I'll never forget it. That was so close. And then I remember, I think she got pregnant. No, we never had, like, we never kissed, we never nini, but there was just something going on that was a bit. I saw it was drifting towards a relationship, towards something. And then out of nowhere, something happened between her and the husband. I think they decided to make up or whatever, and she left.
She left the husband?
She left me. She left whatever we had. Like, she just disappeared. The word is she disappeared.
She disappeared. And
I didn't want to follow her, so I just cut ties like that. But that one was so close. That was so close.
What do you think you would have done?
I still remember until today. That was so close.
Ha!
My mom would have called and be like, nasikia uko sijui na nani? Because you know how my mom calls? My mom calls me these days. And she uses friends. My mom will talk to me, because my mom will never ask me about dating. She'll talk to me, and then she says, ongea na huyu? Then it will be her friend. Sasa umesemaje? Unatuletea msichana lini? My mom is bright. She'll just use the friends. It's
very interesting that they don't talk to you about this, but they want it for you.
Yeah, so my mom will use people around her to talk to me, but she'll never talk to me directly.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Mufasa, for talking with me.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure, man. And we are the small circle in this town that have been growing up with art and doing, people have always asked me why I keep writing.
Yeah.
I keep writing because I love it. I desperately always wanted art to pay for my bills, and art do pay bills.
Yeah.
When you don't run away, when you keep at it, when you make yourself better, and you decide that this is what I'm going to do and this is how the world is going to know me.
Yeah.
Where are you going from here? You are into acting now a little bit?
Yeah. I see myself more as a performance artist. Yeah. Whether it's acting, whether it's poetry, like just on that stage. Whether it's just conversations, whether it's storytelling. Yeah, I see myself more as a performance artist. Where am I going? I want to push the art form. I want to see how we can involve spoken word in movies. How can it come in film?
Yeah.
How can it be scripted into films? How can we come into basically help write some stuff as well?
I feel like poetry
copywriting,
poetry can be a little bit of, but like, for example, there are scenes in the movies where they're kind of a rap scene.
Yeah.
It's a very subtle rap scene.
Yeah.
And I feel like poetry would really do well.
Poetry would be magic in a film.
Yeah.
It would give a moment.
Do you know, somebody was telling me from Botswana.
Yeah.
Oh, my channel is growing fast, Mufasa.
That's what's up, Kwa. That's what's up.
I was very afraid to start this channel.
Yeah.
Very, very afraid, because and when people look at me, they think that I have things in the palm of my hand.
Yes, absolutely. We think that. Yeah.
We
do.
I don't have shit. I am that boy that was timid in Nairobi, just still there. I'm just trying to tell him, bro,
sometimes when you perform poems, you write them knowing who's going to be in the audience.
Oh.
So you normally have like the words that you won't share with everybody.
Yeah.
But you'd share with a specific audience in that moment.
my audience is 60% women.
Let's see. Also having the event recently.
Oh man, that event! I mean, I'll never grow away from it. By the way, Mufasa.
Yeah. What? God. What are you laughing before?
The guy, that line. Are you the one who wrote it?
Which line?
How does it make you feel? Who wrote that?
Oh, like that's a question that's how you ask. Like that's a question that therapists ask.
But it was your idea.
No, it was in the moment. It was him in the moment.
In the moment.
Yeah. That part.
That thing was never scripted. No.
I'm serious. Whatever happened that was direct. Like it was in the moment. We told ourselves, you know what? Let's make it in the moment. And Michelle, Mike, and Esther agreed. Like, yeah, as long as we have this. For us, as long as we have something in our minds, like probably some things that we can share, then they can react in the moment.
And that lady, that was
in the moment.
The lady, the young lady, I don't recognize her.
Esther Kazungu?
Yes, the one that you're saying, but I don't like your blouse. The one whose blouse was never liked by the gentleman.
Oh yeah. Her name is Esther Kazungu. No, Esther Kazungu is a big name. So that was in the moment.
Wow.
That was the moment. It also allowed us. Yeah, it was in the moment.
That thing was never scripted.
Yeah. In the moment.
You know. I think that you're somebody who is very motivational. Do you think yourself as a motivational person?
No. No.
But that's
no. I can come if I come out that way. It's okay.
Oh yeah.
But
thank you.
That's not my intention. Like I just speak.
It's very motivational.
Okay. No, I just share and speak depending on how I feel. I share stories, whether it's love poems or family or political.
Yeah.
I just share myself.
We didn't talk about politics.
Yeah.
Fine.
I just try to share myself. Let me use that word.
Yeah.
Just sharing myself.
Okay. We have never but the last time we sat down, I think for coffee, that's when we talked for a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
But we've never sat down and talked like this.
That is true.
Did you enjoy the podcast?
No, absolutely. I was at home.
Yeah.
I was relaxed.
Thank you very much
for
coming.
Thank you.
I really appreciate.
Thank you for having me.
Big up to your supporters. Big up to you for the things that you're doing. And I would love to see you guys do great things. I saw Feragola. Is it called Feragola?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who? The singer?
Feragola. Yeah.
The Congolese singer?
Yeah. He filled the stadium.
Oh no, absolutely. But you see now, that's the challenge. We need to agree. Poetry is a struggle compared to if we compare it to other genres.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it very tough for us.
Yeah.
But if we find a way to introduce new things,
yeah,
not to try what other people are doing,
yeah,
because remember everything we're doing right now, these are new things. Music was always there, acting was always there, but spoken word wasn't there. There's so many people who've never had spoken word, but there are people that almost everybody has had music.
Yeah,
so, whatever we're doing is a bit different, but of course we have a bigger vision. That's for sure.
Thank you very much, guys, for listening and viewing Dialogues with Jagero. My request is that if you loved this, please leave a comment. Shout out to Mufasa.
Yo, the next time I'm here,
I'm
coming here to perform poems.
That would be nice.
Not 1, 3.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
I am going to hold you accountable for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow you.
3.
3.
You don't follow me on social media? You're not in the 40%. You're not in the 40%.
Is this podcast going to end? Thank you, guys. Until the next video.
Thank you.
Ciao for now.